I think Solana really has shown that it's really good in executing on their roadmap and really shipping out new tech, and most importantly, consumer-facing applications. So it's quite exciting to see the momentum. But I mean, it's been a rough ride, I would say. Obviously, Solana have come a long way. So obviously over the last couple of years, we've seen this renewed momentum in the Solana ecosystem. So what other main drivers do you think are behind this resurgence?
So we think about Solana as three layers. The bottom layer is the blockchain itself, and of course, Solana is an incredibly high performance, scalable, cheap layer one blockchain. And then the second layer is technology built on top of the underlying blockchain, and that's technology both for developers to make it incredibly easy to adopt and build on the Solana blockchain, and then it's also technology for users making it a delightful experience to use the Solana blockchain. It should just feel like you're using the internet, right? Not using the blockchain. And then the third layer is the economy. And I think getting to your question of, what's led to some of this renewed momentum, I think it's a flywheel because you've got this great blockchain, you've got great enabling technology and user experience, and then you've got capital and talent coming together to create an incredibly vibrant economy and ecosystem where more capital is flowing into the system, and capital likes capital, right? Capital attracts capital, and I think that flywheel is really starting to spin.
Absolutely. I think what's also really important in my opinion is just and you mentioned that you alluded to it, it's just the user experience. I think what we do in Web3 in general is building infrastructure, but I hope that we're finally abstracting away from the technicals and the infrastructure layer to more of the application layer, where we finally onboard the mainstream and the day-to-day users. So I mean, there's a lot going on the Solana ecosystem, and we could talk about it for days. But are there any specific sectors within the ecosystem, that you're especially excited about right now?
So, I lead institutional growth, so I'm always excited about tokenization and real world assets. But I think there's just so many exciting segments growing in the Solana ecosystem, from DePIN to DeFi, and everything else. And I think that's because of our focus on founders, applications, and tokens. You mentioned UX being so important. I 100% agree. The application layer is really, where we're going to see mainstream adoption. And so we're very focused on attracting, going back to the, three layers, the blockchain, the technology, and the economy. We're really trying to attract the best talent, the best founders to build on the Solana blockchain, and in the ecosystem. And those amazing founders create incredible applications that we all want to use every day. And, if you're building in the blockchain, you're building in crypto, there's often a token component to that as well. And tokens drive a lot of the DeFi and trading activity on the chain. And I think, again, that brings more capital, more talent into that economy and creates the flywheel that makes Solana a really vibrant ecosystem. And we saw that last week in New York at our Accelerate conference with over 3,000 people in attendance. And just the vibes were immaculate.